several streams of income.
Mm-hmm. It's just nice. I get to keep my brand still follows me everywhere I go. So everything I do, just my brand. When you think Dylan, everyone knows, hey, it's me.
No, that's absolutely right. And we should talk about that. Are you doing anything with the AI?
No, I do. All ours is organic. I don't mess with the AI stuff. Just because when I do the stuff, everyone wants to see the organic, live, real stuff. I don't mess with AI anymore.
Well, you and I should talk. We should do a Zoom call or something in my studio.
Yeah,
where I could share a screen with you, because there's so much technology now to where if you took the content that you're making and then drop that into the AI grinder, it spits out all kinds of social media posts and all that kind of stuff with the hashtags and YouTube stuff.
Yeah, that's what a lot of my hashtags are like. Because it usually shows you now how many 4.9 million or billion or whatever all around the world. So different ones are real perspective of how they use and what they use. So I have some that I certainly use different videos, different introductions, stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, people love to have that. I just invited somebody, and I don't know who it was. If anybody's watching the show and you'd like to be invited to talk to Dylan and I, there's 5 spots. So just go ahead and jump in if you have something that you want to say. Dylan was in charge of a very large mobile home manufacturer. And I don't know if you saw that, but this show is on buying a home, Dylan.
Yeah.
That's okay. I love kids. During the COVID thing, I donated a bunch of my time, and we did Zooms back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it when kids and dogs and stuff kind of interrupted the Zoom meeting because we were all locked down,
Yeah, with the tree biz, man. Well, I'm 6 o'clock till whenever, especially right now with the storm. Everyone's scared of the storm, so man, it's like I have to get these trees from falling on houses, cars. I've seen it all. I've seen people lose everything because of trees. It's been crazy.
Is that right?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them. But we don't only take trees down stuff. My team is arborists as well, so we take care of it. We doctor it back together. So that's a big thing of us being successful. We don't just Joe Blow to take down a tree. We actually care for it and nutrient it and everything as well.
Yeah, a lot of people don't want to just get rid of a tree if it's got a dead limb.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. They call me like, "Oh man, there's people before me just said we need to cut it down." I said, "No, you need to groom it so it can get back alive." And we embrace them. We do everything.
Well, now, did you end up owning part of that company?
So the tree company?
Yeah.
So my buddy owns it.
Okay.
He started it in Florida. I just kind of happened to look into it. Then I did. Basically, I manage the whole company now, but no, he's the owner of it. I'm just a general manager.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's a big title for a young guy.
Yeah. I mean, he takes care of me, but really nice. It was definitely a blessing for coming away from the mobile home business.
Well, and I don't know if this isn't really the show, but I would love to do a show sometime and let the listeners know what happened with that, because I know that you gave your heart and soul to that place and they had no advertising, no exposure. And then I don't know for sure, but it seems to me like that didn't work out well.
It worked out for me for a while until things happened and I stepped away. And let's just say they're not what they were anymore.
Well, and they weren't taking care of you.
Yeah, and advertising it, I removed all my advertising for their stuff, and they weren't getting it anymore.
As you should. But you know, that's one of the things. Sometimes these companies, they don't take care of their key personnel who's going over and above the call of duty, and they don't realize it until they're gone.
Yeah. But no, the owner of the company, he takes really good care of me. We take good care of our employees. So
now you're talking about the tree company.
Yeah, the tree company now.
Well, plug that. What's the tree company?
So we're a Texoma Dirty Work Tree Service.
Texoma Dirty Work.
Yeah, Texoma Dirty Work Tree Service. I do all Oklahoma and all North Texas. So we're licensed and bonded in both states.
And he's in Florida doing the same thing.
No, he's here now. He originated from Florida, moved here, and he's been in business since 2019.
Okay, because I was going to ask you, that's a lot of expensive equipment, isn't it?
Yep, and he owns 85-90% of all his equipment. So
yeah,
I don't lease anything.
Well, you know, that's something that needs to happen. These small businesses get all these loans and then they go out of business. Can you hear that? My tax person was calling me. What's that?
I said everything's going pretty good with that. Like I said, it's been. I know last time I talked to you, you told me just do what I love, and
right.
I can do what I love and still keep the company going. So that's the big thing,
bro. I got to tell you,
time for my family now. That's the big thing, man.
And that's the most important thing. That is the
last time I talked to you, they were like, the job or your kids, and I told them, I don't want to tell you what I told them, but
well, I can imagine.
Let's just say
I would not be polite.
Let's make sure my family's first.
Oh, absolutely. God, when I owned my company or when I was the CEO of any company or I was in charge of things, I told them all the same thing, all my employees. I said, God, family, action, computers. I said, I can't be first. I don't want to be second, but I got to be more important than softball or golf. Take care of your work, but the only reason we work is for our family.
Yes, sir. But no, so that's been, like I say, it's been a blissful.
Well, I am proud of you, buddy. And whenever I do a little mentoring thing with somebody like you, and we just visited and exchanged ideas or whatever, and to see somebody like you be so successful, it really, really warms my heart.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Like I say, you're a big push to me when I was going through all this.
Well,
we missed, but it's a good thing.
God, I get up every morning and say, God, who can I help today? And I look for some place where I could do some good, maybe. And, I just talk to people. And that was your day, and we got to be friends. And I love it. People talk about younger folks like they don't have it, like we used to in the day. And I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are going to be the new age.
And I ain't gonna lie, my generation's kind of slacking too, but I get up every day and I'm thankful for what I have, boy, and I just bust my ass from sun up to sundown.
Wow. You're doing awesome. And so are all your contemporaries. There's a lot of knuckleheads in my generation and after and before and everything else. It's the real winners who care about their families. Those are the people that are, good in any generation.
Yeah.
Well, listen, speaking of family, I'm going to let you go, but you stay in touch. Okay.
All right, man. Yeah, I'll give it to you later. Like, I'm gonna wrap everything up here and get her for bed and stuff. But I'll let you tomorrow. I'll give you a text or something.
Yeah, do that. And keep up the good work, man. I love you.
You too, Mark. I love you too. I'm glad you're doing a lot better and feeling better.
Hey, I'm gonna be around for a couple more weeks.
Be better.
Take care, buddy. I appreciate you. That was Dylan. Texoma Dirty Work. His key phrase that he goes by is "Think Dylan." That's his hashtag, and it's weird. I just did a little mentoring session with him one time, and it was about 2 years ago, and he's killing it. And I love to see people get successful, especially the generation that people talk crap about all the time, these younger guys. And anyway, I'm doing this Tuesday live. I'm going to try and keep up with it. We're simulcasting on YouTube, and we'll pick a topic, and if we go off track and there's nobody else, then I figure we'll talk about whatever we want to. I'm going to try to keep it to like a half an hour, but this show is about buying a house. And I think it's really important right now to talk about real estate agents, house prices, interest rates. This has given me a bunch of people to invite, and I'm not going to just invite somebody on the show. I want to have people in here that are real estate agents or investors or dads, moms and dads, or first-time buyers, people that are struggling. I don't want to just have this rando experience in my lives. I want to be able to help each other, and the purpose is to draw in people on these lives that have something to say, or they're controversial or whatever. I will say that I think that home prices need to go down by 30%. I think that salaries need to go up by 30%. And I think that the interest rates will do whatever the interest rates will do when you make things affordable. When you're talking about people making $30,000 or $40,000 for a salary, and it's two of those folks in a family, and the prices of things are just so ridiculously high, then buying a $350,000 house, it's ridiculous, and those two things have to happen to make this work. I mean, you've got to say, hey, look, people that are working at McDonald's need to make $150,000 a year, and then you can keep the prices of everything the same, but right now, you're expecting these people to work for a minimum wage of $7.25 an hour, and maybe that's not house buying status. And when I was a kid, minimum wage was $3.25, and ain't nobody was buying houses at that pay grade. So, I mean, minimum wage is not for people to buy a house. And it's not for a living wage. I mean, I lived with my parents when I was making minimum wage. And then, when I was 17, I didn't work for minimum wage anymore, but I had some experience. I was working on construction or doing this, that, and the other thing. And who's the W? Walter Humphreys. It says to invite you. No, it says not to. But I'm a rookie at doing these lives because I don't have the strength or the energy to be sitting in front of the studio camera all day. But I'm wondering if I'm looking at myself on my YouTube 4K eMeet camera, and I've been seeing all these advertisements for this new 4K eMeet camera. And I wonder, even if I'm using my phone to do this, I'm simulcasting on YouTube, and it seems like it works a little bit better on my PC. I don't know. The light may be different. Maybe I should stand back some. I don't know. But the main thing that I would say about buying houses right now is that it has to be affordable. So I lived in Denver for a long time, and we bought a house in Denver in '98, and it was $227,000. And I bought that house because there were other houses that were $300,000, and I couldn't afford to buy them. I sold my house I was in for $146,000. I'd lived in that 4 or 5 years, and I bought that for $114,094. And then I sold the house for $750,000 in 2020. And I couldn't afford to go buy that house back. I moved to Oklahoma because I was having kidney failure, and I needed to lower my expenses and get somewhere that I could handle the prices. And here in Oklahoma, you can buy a house for $150,000, $200,000, and that makes sense. If people are in Denver and they're paying rent for $2,000 a month, I don't know how you make that. That's a high rent. There's a lot of rent that's a lot higher than that, but I think that's going to change. But if you're looking to buy the same house, and maybe depending on how this goes, if there's no activity here, I might open up a share screen and do some modeling for mortgages on the YouTube channel, the Mark Hope Show on YouTube. And, just look at, what some of those payments are. But I know I was looking at $1 million house for my daughter. She's a doctor, and she's waited and waited and waited and waited for her chance to buy a house. And even as a neurologist who is in charge of a big school and sees patients and does fellowships with other doctors. Her payment for a house in San Antonio was $7,500 a month with principal and interest and the taxes and insurance. Also, as you're listening to me, I'm on a bunch of medicine from my kidney failure and my transplant. So if it looks like I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, that's true. And I may search for some words or whatever, but I was kind of hoping we'd get some real estate agents on here to help give you guys some advice, but I don't think maybe I'm popular enough to have that happen. But I am going to call this a day on the live, and we'll try next Tuesday and see what happens then. Pick a different topic. But I appreciate you guys all coming out and listening to me for a minute. And we will talk to you